My name is Lisa. I'm a working housewife who lives with my husband Phineas and our daughter Madison. Madison is always lively, and on his days off, Phineas often plays with her. While I live such a happy life, the presence of my mother-in-law often troubles me.
Lisa, you really are such a country bumpkin. I'm at a loss when you serve snacks like this.
But these Japanese sweets, you said you loved them.
Oh, never mind. Just put them away.
It would be a waste to throw them away.
Your upbringing shows. Well, if the parents aren't great, what can you expect, right?
My mother-in-law is proud of her Kyoto heritage and has always looked down on me for my rural upbringing, constantly belittling me. I lost my parents at an early age and don't have a family home to go back to. That fact has become another subject of my mother-in-law's snide remarks. But what troubles me the most is,
Mommy, what does crude mean? Grandma said you're a crude person.
She said that? My mother-in-law would badmouth me even to my daughter, Madison, trying to get her on her side. I was deeply displeased by her actions, trying to drag my precious child into our issues. A few months later.
So, during the summer break, I'll be taking care of Madison. It'd be troublesome if Madison ends up like you, Lisa.
Wait, taking care of her?
I'm saying I'll re-educate her during the summer break.
I was distressed when my mother-in-law suddenly announced she would be taking Madison to educate her. Madison wasn't fond of my mother-in-law, who never had anything nice to say, and clearly didn't want to go. So, I asked Phineas to speak to his mother and try to persuade her, but
Mom does have a point. Why not let her take Madison for a while?
Madison really doesn't want to go.
What are we going to achieve by always giving in to our child? Mom is terrifying when she's mad. If we don't handle this right, she might get angry at me.
Angry at you? We're not children. Phineas seemed to have no intention of protecting Madison as a father should. Realizing this, I was dumbfounded by his lack of support. In the end, the plan to leave Madison with my mother-in-law was dropped, but this infuriated her. Things spiraled out of control, and we ended up not speaking to each other. A few years later.
The doctor said I need care because of my injury. I can't manage on my own anymore, so I'd like us to live together.
Live together? But
I admit I overreacted and got angry back then. Madison is your child, and it wasn't my place to interfere. So, I'm truly sorry for everything.
mother-in-law.
Let's start over and live harmoniously together.
It had been several years since I last met my mother-in-law when she had a serious injury that required hospitalization and caregiving. She requested to live with us, and I honestly wasn't sure what to do. However, seeing her tearfully apologize for past wrongs made me consider it more positively. But not long after.
Mission accomplished. Now I can live with Madison and give Lisa peace of my mind again.
You played her well, pretending you need care when you're just at the lowest level. Now you're in charge.
I'm quite the actress, right? I really laid it on thick.
Wait, those tears were all an act? What on earth? While visiting my mother-in-law in the hospital, I overheard her conversation with Phineas's sister, Gwendolyn. Apparently, the tearful apology and her supposed need for care was a ruse to live with us. After hearing that, I decided to tell Phineas that we shouldn't let her move in. I overheard that conversation between mother-in-law and Gwendolyn. After hearing that, I can't possibly live with her. I want you to tell her no.
What are you saying? Didn't you see how sorry Mom was when she cried? You're going to abandon Mom when she's bedridden? You're heartless.
But she's not bedridden, and she doesn't need care.
Maybe she's fine now, but have you thought about her future? You're so thoughtless.
Thoughtless? Your mom lied about wanting to live with us. She even said she'd criticize me. And you still want her to move in?
She's looking forward to living with us. Just let her move in. How can you be so cold-hearted? It's unbelievable.
You don't have to speak to me like that.
Forget the past and let her move in. You're an adult, not a child. Right? If you're so against living with her, then you should leave.
What? You're asking me to leave? Phineas, are you serious?
Of course I'm serious. I mean it.
When I asked Phineas to refuse his mother's request to live with us, he became furious, his face turning bright red. Moreover, He refused to believe or even listen to what I had to say. Feeling that I had reached my limit with Phineas's attitude, Then I'll leave. Here's the divorce papers.
You've got some nerve. I'd be glad to divorce you. Don't come crying to me when you can't make ends meet in the future.
You don't need to worry about my future.
Even if you work for a big company, you're just a contract employee, aren't you? Pretty confident for just a contract worker.
Didn't I change jobs because you wanted me to prioritize our family? Even though I work, I've always prioritized and protected our home. And you come at me with this?
It's just common sense, isn't it? Without a family home, can you really raise Madison on your own?
So you were just like your mother after all. You looked down on me for not having a family home.
Obviously. I won't be raising Madison, and I won't give you a penny for child support.
All right, I don't need child support. I'll take good care of Madison on my own. But in return, promise me you'll never interfere in our lives again.
Of course, I won't have anything to do with you.
Then put that in writing. Promise me. From now on, write down every single word I say, exactly as I say it, on this paper. Saying that, I made Phineas write an agreement and a document for official attestation. I immediately went to the city hall to submit the divorce papers. After that, I got the agreement notarized at the public notary office. Once all procedures were completed, I contacted a certain individual before heading home, and then...
Where were you? Our conversation isn't over.
Are you drinking? That's unbelievable.
I'm the one who married you, who has no family. And yet you dare to act this way, unbelievable.
Thanks for that.
What's with that attitude? You should be grateful to me for the rest of your life.
All right, stop right there.
Who the hell are you?
He's the son of a patient who was in the same hospital room as your mother.
Nice to meet you. I'm Noah. I'm here to deliver this to Phineas. It's an audio recording of a conversation between our mothers.
Bo, you'll be living with your grandchild after being discharged. How lovely.
Indeed, my son insists that we should live together.
Ha! I never said anything like that.
Indeed, Phineas never mentioned living together.
There's more to the recording.
My daughter-in-law will leave right away. She'll definitely run away, tails between her legs, because of my nagging and spendthrift ways.
Mom does splurge a lot.
What's this conversation? Wait, that's my sister's voice, isn't it?
I'm not pretending to be sick just to live with my son.
Mom, how much did you take from Phineas's wallet? You probably don't even know, do you? Such a terrible parent.
Mom, have you been taking money from my wallet? I always felt like the amount was less than what I remembered.
She even spent the money Dad saved for Phineas. I really feel sorry for Phineas.
I did feel my wallet was lighter sometimes. But I never imagined it was Mom's doing.
Having learned of his mother's misdeeds, Phineas.
This has to be a joke. Someone with a voice identical to Mom's must have said all this. My mom. My mom isn't the kind of person who'd do such things.
I understand you want to believe that, but this reveals your mother's true nature.
Do you know how this recording was made?
How?
Actually, every time Lisa visited your mother in the hospital, she also kept my mom company, often when your mother was away for her rehab. During those times, my mom grew concerned because Lisa would often vent about your mother. She thought it strange, considering Lisa is such a considerate person.
Why would she complain about my mom to a stranger?
Because she was that distressed. One day, my mom saw Lisa crying outside the hospital. Seeing that, my mother wanted to help Lisa in some way. That's why she agreed to help record these conversations.
You're saying Lisa was crying because of my mom? So, everything Lisa said was true?
Exactly. If it weren't, I would have agreed to live together without any hesitation. But even recalling those times we lived together makes my skin crawl. When you were around, she acted like a refined and kind mother. But when it was just the two of us, she constantly nagged, and her complaints and snide remarks were endless.
You should have told me about this.
You never tried to listen. It was always about Mom. And did you know she even badmouthed me to Madison?
To Madison, too. I can't believe this.
After all the trust you had in your mother. Honestly, I do feel sorry for you, Phineas. But unfortunately, it's all true. Phineas, who had always believed in his mother, was deeply shocked upon discovering the truth. Realizing that the image she had shown him was all an act, Phineas reacted.
This must be a fabricated recording.
Excuse me?
There's no way my mom would say such things. My sister might be exasperated, but this isn't my mom's voice.
No matter how you hear it, it's unmistakably your mother's voice.
Lisa, you want to divorce me. Did you set this up with that guy to make me agree to it?
What are you talking about? The reasons for our divorce are clear.
Are you having an affair with him?
Of course not. I'm working, taking care of Madison, and even visiting your mom when I get time. When would I even have time for an affair? Stop saying such ridiculous things.
Why are you getting so angry? Your anger makes it even more suspicious.
You're the one making her angry. How dare you accuse your wife, who does so much for your family, of such a thing? No wonder she wants a divorce.
Seeing how angry she is, maybe my guess is right?
She's angry because you're completely off the mark.
Did I really marry someone this clueless?
Who's lacking common sense? Isn't it you, Lisa?
What do you mean by that?
You have no parents, no family home, no manners. You couldn't even serve tea snacks that would please my mom.
Ugh. Why are you bringing that up now? Your mom would complain about any snack I served. Harassing me seems to be her hobby.
Seeing you, I can imagine what your mother is like.
It seemed like Phineas couldn't bring himself to believe the words spoken by his mother.
Don't insult my mother. She might come off as strong-willed, so her words may sound harsh, but she's never been mean to Lisa.
It's great that you care so much about your mother, but blind faith might not be the best.
What's wrong with that? My mother isn't malicious.
She was just pretending to be nice in front of you.
Maybe you just misunderstood her intentions? Being accused for something she didn't do, doesn't that make my mother the victim here?
The one who's wrong is Daddy.
Madison, you're here. Can you testify that Grandma wasn't mean to Mom?
Nope.
What?
Grandma was always saying nasty things to Mom. Also, she took money from Mom and Dad's wallets.
That must be one of your jokes, right?
Nope. That's why Mom only kept 1,000 yen bills in her usual wallet.
You might have just seen it wrong, right?
Remember the big container in Dad's study where you save 500 yen coins? Because the lid opens easily, she took a lot from there. Dad, you were wondering why the amount wasn't as much as you thought, right? That's because Grandma was taking the saved coins.
That's impossible.
It's true. Since we started living separately from Grandma, the money in the wallet hasn't been decreasing. And the 500 yen coins have been piling up properly, right?
Seems like you had an eyewitness closer than you thought.
In fact, Madison had witnessed many of the misdeeds of her grandmother during their time living together. While Phineas might prioritize his mother over Lisa at times, he's the kind of person who would believe what Madison says.
So, that recording, it really is my mother speaking?
Yup. I've heard Grandma say those kinds of things before too.
Lisa, let's reconsider the divorce.
What? After all this, what are you talking about?
From now on, let's live just the three of us, undisturbed. I'll flat out reject the idea of living with my mother, so, please, let's not divorce.
No, we're getting divorced.
I'm begging you. Don't be so hard-hearted.
Sometimes I don't understand what Papa's saying with his Kyoto dialect.
He's telling me not to get too big for my boots.
Or beg or lash out, but pick one. Though I guess no matter what he says now, Lisa has made up her mind.
If he had just listened to me a little more before, we might have had a different future. But he made the mistake of choosing whom to believe. That's his own doing.
Don't say it like that. I promise I'll believe you from now on.
Even without you, Lisa can raise Madison. Actually, Lisa works with one of my business associates, and she's extremely talented.
Lisa is talented.
She's being recognized for her skills and will be made a full-time employee next month. Considering she'll be working for a major company, she won't need you even for financial support.
Don't say it like that. I swear, from now on, I'll protect only Lisa and Madison.
After all this, now you come crying? It was you who told me to leave, remember? Stand by your words.
But,
Papa, why don't you get along with mean Grandma? I don't like her, so I'm going with Mama. Bye.
Afterward, I successfully divorced Phineas. I didn't want to be involved with him at all anymore, so I didn't ask for any child support or alimony. Following our divorce, Phineas, lacking someone to do the household chores, decided to live with his mother. Of course, she didn't need any caregiving and was in good health every day. In fact, she was so lively that she'd find money or cards no matter where Phineas hid them and would shop incessantly. If he ever carelessly left his wallet out, the cash would be gone in an instant. She even somehow found out his PIN number, and before he realized it, his bank account was almost down to zero. Thus, in exchange for losing the family he was once close to, Phineas led a miserable life parasitized by his money-grubbing mother. As for Madison and me afterward.
These are sweets I ordered online. I bet Madison will love them.
Well, they look delicious. Thank you.
I'm sorry for intruding like this.
No worries. You're the guy who used to visit my mother in the hospital, right?
Gwendolyn, you have a good memory.
When you keep track of your money to make sure my mom isn't taking any, your memory gets sharper.
If I remember how much money I have in my piggy bank, will my memory get better too?
Sounds good. Why not give it a try?
Even after my divorce from Phineas, my sister-in-law Gwendolyn would sometimes come to visit Madison. Contrary to my initial impressions, Gwendolyn wasn't supportive of her mother's antics, she was utterly exasperated. When we talked about the events leading up to the divorce, she even mentioned how she wished she could have helped. I realized that within my family, there weren't just foes, but allies too, and this made me genuinely happy. After becoming a full-time employee, I juggled raising Madison with my demanding job. My professional interactions with Noah increased, and we started meeting in private as well. While this new chapter in my life has just begun, as long as I see Madison's smiles, I believe I can overcome anything. Powered by Madison's radiant smiles, I'm determined to raise her with all my might as a single mother. I gaze up at the sky and softly make a vow to my parents in heaven, wearing a smile. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit the like button and consider subscribing to my channel for more great content. Just click on the subscribe button below, and don't forget to ring the notification bell so you'll be the first to know when I upload a new video. See you in the next one.